Okay. Good afternoon, good evening, hello. Hi. Okay. How's your day going? How's your evening going? I don't know if you can see me very well. It has been raining here for like how many days now? We don't go out. Every day rain. I don't know if this is the seven days rain they are talking about. Thank you, Chris. I don't know if this is the 7 days rain they are talking about, but man, I think it is good. At least by next year we'll have some fresh food. Yeah, please, if you're watching me, let me know where you're watching me from. Okay, so that I can start. Why did I come here today? You know, people do a lot of things, a lot of silly sacrifice. Should I call it sacrifice? Well, I don't think it is sacrifice. I call it misplacement of purity. Yes, people do a lot of things for erotic love. Yes, people do a whole lot of things that are detrimental, not just to their heart or their emotions, but to who they are. This is more rampant with this young age, young girls and boys, coming up. And I think it should be something that I should be concerned about. I was invited to speak to some teenagers, and from my discussion with them, I found out that almost like more than half of them have had one silly relationship experience or the other. You would ask me what it is. Take for instance, I was the first girl. She said, this is not something, it might not be new, right, to some of you here. It might not be new to you, but she said, I asked her, what is the most stupid thing you think you have done that makes you think that you have ruined your life? And she said that while she was in secondary school, when she was in SS2, her friends, because it's a mixed school, her friends, pulled her into this relationship triangle. And she came from a Christian home, very, very strong Christian home. But her friends made her they told her that this guy right now, I think whomever she said she was dating then in SS2, made her give her virginity to him, because to him, or he said that if she doesn't do this, it means she doesn't love him. And then she was lured to give her virginity to the said boy, because I won't call him a guy, yes. And I asked her, what did he give to you that proved to you that he loved you? She said, he buys me gifts. And I'm like, just that. This is not something new. A lot of us make this mistake of sacrificing things that are irreplaceable on the altar of erotic love. Things that are irreplaceable, things that you cannot get back on that altar. Thinking that you are giving it for love, thinking that you're doing it for love, thinking that it is you probably must have done this thing for the best person on earth. Well, it will shock you that some of these things you do in relationship that you don't even know its formidability would permanently leave a scar in you. Be you girl, be you boy. It is very much advisable that when you go into a relationship, that you define it not just with what your partner wants, but what you want, scrutinizing, protecting your integrity, protecting your pride, protecting yourself from future harm. Releasing what you can that is not harmful to you, and withholding that which you're meant to release at the right time, which probably would be in matrimony. But you see a lot of broken souls these days, a lot of broken hearts these days, and you ask yourself, what really is happening? At the age of 19, 18, you hear ugly stories, ugliest things that you'll be like, wow. I'm not talking about this sacrifice, when you do some of these things you do for love. Maybe you trek some miles, you stay awake waiting for the call, you kind of maybe not eat because this person has not called you. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these sacrifices that affects the soul of the giver. The sacrifices that works on your integrity, your person, even your spiritual growth. Some persons are kept at a spot today because of sacrifices they've made. They've sacrificed on the altar of erotic feelings. It might sound uninteresting to you, but the scar this sacrifice lives in you. Most of them are permanent. That even in old age, when you remember them, your heart, that's how it feels within. You are in the university. You have a boyfriend, fine. We all know, I would tell you categorically, as a young lady and with my experience, that any relationship, most of them, I'm not saying 100%, most of the relationship that starts in school ends in school. If anyone survives, then it is destined. And you are in this relationship in secondary school, in university, having your phone, and when you count, you have had, you've probably forgotten where you live. You've forgotten the lodge that your parents paid for you. You now wear, because you want to wear big polo, baggy ones. And then because you want to walk on that road holding hands and all that, and what sacrifices are you making? Playing the wife and husband role when you are yet still feeding from your parents' pockets. And then you hear, he broke up with me, I'm so heartbroken. She broke up with me, I'm so heartbroken. Check it. It is not the breakup that is their problem. They are checking what they've already sacrificed for that relationship. And when you check the sacrifice, it is not what you call sacrifices for love. It is sacrifices for erotic feelings. Something happened today. I was with a group of friends. It's not really a serious discussion, but if you listen to it, you will pick something from it. We were talking, and this man said that it is not a sin, to indulge in fornication. You can imagine that. Let's leave. Let me just keep this aside. Let me not shift from what I came here today to talk about. So the ideal thing here is this: people have sacrificed even their life on this altar of erotic love, because people don't understand what it means to have agape love, erotic love. Is it philia? Be philon love? I don't know. I cannot remember. Sorry, you have to forgive me on that. But people forget that the sacrifices you make most times does not keep your relationship. The things you do, they are not what keeps it. The ways you go out for, it is not what keeps it. In fact, the person you're doing it for would only choose if he or she wants to stay. Not with, because if I consider what this person has done, if it is like that, then a lot of people will remain in relationships out of pity, not out of love. Let me shock you. I was in a group with some boys. We were talking, and then one of them said, "Guy, I like slim girls." So one of the other one said, "Are you going to leave Ogechi?" He said, "Nah, if I don't marry that girl, she fit die o. But nah, mo amalo nyenga no. But because of the sacrifices this girl made, because of the sacrifices this girl has already, the things she has done for this relationship and for me, it will be difficult for me to break up. But guy, I will not be happy. I will not be happy." So let's check it. Probably this sacrifice is either abortion, either her money she must have put into the relationship, her prayers and all that. But we are checking the ones that are more detrimental to the girl. She must have left her parents' house. She's living with him. Of course, yes, the girl is living with him. Of course, when you live with a guy, things must happen, and one day you can never cheat nature. Once something must happen, you get pregnant. And it is almost unavoidable not to get pregnant while living with a guy. And then she must have done one or two things. And this guy is like, if I don't marry that girl, she fit kill me. Oh. So these sacrifices would probably make this guy to stay out of pity, not out of love. He will marry her, but what happens in the relationship? Long suffering. Will the girl suffer for it? Yes. Will he suffer for it? Yes. So what is the need? People have left what they are actually supposed to invest in relationship and focus on what is not even needed. They have left to invest in each other, watch each other grow, become good friends with each other, talk about things that are moral to not just themselves but to the future and to even their children if they end up together. Focus on, will you give me, will I give you? Are you giving or am I taking? What can you do? Do this for me if you love me. Don't do this for me if you don't love me. Or let's do this so that we can follow what is trending. Wow. Youths are the ones I am after. I am interested in the youths. I am interested in what would harm you so as to prevent it. Dear young minds, dear young ones, the things that you are running after now, chasing after in relationship, you don't need them. I will say it categorically. You do not need those experiences. The time that you need right now is to invest in yourself. And even if you end up being in a relationship with someone that is asking too much from you, cut it. Yes. People have sacrificed even their life on the altar of erotic feelings. Can we get it right? If so many girls or guys are asked, how did you lose your pride? They will tell you secondary school, primary school, or to this person, to that person. And then you find out that they didn't do it because... Oh, sorry about that. They didn't do it because they wanted to or because they felt it. It's because they did it to please their partner. So their partner wouldn't cheat on them. So their partner wouldn't leave them. So their partner wouldn't think that they don't... Please, sorry again. Please, the person calling me, I don't know if you're watching me, please. Can you just... please. Okay, so, and if you watch out, these relationships always end. I have this platform where I belong, where people are asked what is the most stupid thing you've done for love, and then you read hilarious things, and they live with this. Some of them happened 10 years ago, some happened 5 years ago, some happened 2 years ago, and the scar is still in them. Be careful of what you sacrifice for love. Be careful of what you give out in the name of love, because some of the things you think you're doing and it is called love is not actually love. You're putting out a whole lot of things to your own detriment. And what happens? You're forgotten that these things, most of them, have no formidability. What happens when the heartbreak comes? Most of the times you don't think, when this breakup thing happens and you see people crying, it is not because of whom they lost. It is because what they have given out, what they have sacrificed, what they have sacrificed on that altar called love, that this person is for me, and then I have to give it all in, forgetting that there are ways to these things. The person you're with right now, if they decide to break up, what would be your greatest regrets? Do you have regrets? I think you should be more interested in what they will miss if they decide to end the relationship. That is the value. What will this person miss when they break up with me? What will this person miss when they decide not to continue with this relationship? It is not the sex, sorry. Because anybody that misses you because of the good sex probably doesn't even love you. It's just the sex that kept him or her. But I think you should be talking about the intellectual value, the emotional backup, the emotional support, the spiritual backup, the spiritual support. And then the things that you help them, the purpose that you've helped them to find, the life that you have led them to, the things that you have done that is not to your own detriment, but to their own benefit. Right? I believe that with these things, when you do them, a lot of people or the person that you will be with would find it difficult to cut the ties. Because when you are only after, okay, if I give her money, she would love me the more. If I give him sex, she would love me. She would know that I love, if I give him sex, he would know that I love him. If I give her money, she would know that I love her. You're forgetting that some other person can do better. People are interested in whom, or people stay with those that feed their souls more than their body. If you think I'm lying, check some of these relevant people in social media and watch out the people that are following them. People are interested in the content, not the container. It is not about your physical looks. So when you just have the physical looks to sacrificing the things that would harm you for a long time, you are just keeping yourself at the edge where at any point you can fall off. Cut the sacrifice. Give value. Give value. In your relationship, friendship with people, whomever, give value to anybody that comes into your life, and not things that are detrimental to your own being, that would leave a scar in you. Let it be that when people leave you, the scar is with them, not with you. You can only achieve this when you are seriously, constantly impacting in them, putting your relevance in them, marking out lines in their lives, strengthening their weaknesses, and not gratifying their sexual urges, their insatiable wants, because human needs are insatiable. And also displeasing yourself to please them, most importantly. When you do this one, displeasing yourself, that is when you realize that you have lost your self-ego, your self-value. You've lost yourself virtually. I really hope that in the end you don't lose yourself for anything that is not worth it. you don't make further mistakes, that in the end, you would live to regret them. It is okay if you have made the mistakes. It's okay if you have done the wrongs. This is the time to right it. You might not go back to the past, but you can start with the present. You might not go back to that person to correct it. You might not take the hands of time back, but you can start with the present. Even Christ forgives the past. He has forgiven. He said, the past belongs to the past. The old you is gone. Come afresh with a new being. Start afresh from where you are. Know what you can sacrifice. Know what you should not sacrifice. Know the value you should give. Because it is value that makes you remembered. It is value that keeps your legacy. It is value that keeps people stuck with you. People don't fight for worthless something. They stick with value. So place that value on yourself. If you think it is the 12 videos, right? The sex chats and all that, the digital sex stuff you do that will make him stay with you. The sexy stuff you take and send to him or her that will make her stay. Let me tell you, if you don't give it, another will. Okay? But there is something that you can give that another might not give. That is value. I hope this meets you well. And until next time, when I come again, I hope that we wouldn't be talking about this one again. And that you pass this message across to the young ones around you. The teenagers, the adolescents, that you teach them that purity is the key. Don't criticize them. Correct them in love. You are doing just fine. It doesn't matter where you've gotten right now, what you've done before, but what matters is this is where you are and you are deciding to start a change immediately. My name is Loveling. Also, Love Speaks. And I love you dearly. I am your relationship coach. Alright? But life, motivation, anything that has to do with life. Thank you for joining me today. And I love you dearly. Bye-bye.